I am Shelitha Robertson, and I want to serve as your Superior Court judge. For more than 30 years, I've served the public as a police officer, a public defender, and a city attorney. I love America. I respect the Constitution. I'll be effective, efficient, fair, and firm. I'll be an interpreter of the law, not an advocate. I am Shelitha Robertson, and I'm ready to be your judge.
On May 20th, vote Shelitha Robertson. Experience we can trust.
That was over 10 years ago when Shelitha the scammer was vying for votes. She wanted to be a Fulton County judge. Just imagine this woman becoming a judge, and she stole millions in PPP money and threatened to take the life of her best friend and partner in crime after the friend took a plea deal and cooperated with the feds against her. I don't know, Shelitha will fit right in with the other corrupt politicians of Fulton County, from Fannie Willis, who she donated money to Commissioners Marvin Arrington and Natalie Hall chasing balls. We're about to get into Shelitha Robertson, who went from an Atlanta police officer to a public defender, then a city attorney in Atlanta. And now she'll be spending time in a federal penitentiary after scamming the government out of millions in C-19 money and using that money to buy a bright pink Rolls Royce and live a lavish lifestyle. The total scheme is worth about $15 million, initially reported as $7 million, and that money got her 7 years behind bars. Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
Only on 11 Alive tonight, when COVID hit, jobs tanked, small businesses collapsed, families suffered, and millions of paychecks just disappeared. The government was quick to pour out more than $1 trillion to restore a collapsing economy, but the scammers and fraudsters quickly caught on, as did the Secret Service. Tonight, our Bill List takes a closer look as the Secret Service set out to find millions of dollars that disappeared.
As billions of dollars started flowing out in COVID-related paycheck protection loans and unemployment benefits designed to rescue struggling businesses and help those who lost jobs, millions of dollars ended up in the hands of fraudsters and scammers.
They were all prosecuted from the Northern District of Georgia.
At the forefront of hunting them down, the Atlanta Bureau of the Secret Service, charged with protecting the nation's financial system and headed by Chief Agent Stephen Basil.
This type of fraud is a very high priority for our agency, and in our office we have approximately 15 to 20 agents that investigate it on a full-time basis.
The big question is, how did all this financial fraud gain momentum? The Secret Service says electronic filing.
The programs were not set up to verify the identification, and that's what allowed the fraud to continue. The electronic aspect of it expedited it.
Basil says the priority was getting the money to those in need quickly.
There was a lot of things that happened so quickly that they thought they had it under control, and the oversight just was not there.
Yeah, the oversight wasn't there, creating the perfect trap for money-hungry idiots like Shelitha. Initial reports listed the amount as $7 million, but now we know that amount is over twice as much at $15 million. Shelitha worked with her best friend, her partner in crime, Chandra Norton, who was also an attorney before she was convicted as well and disbarred. See, they came for Chandra back in 2020. That's 2 whole years before they swooped down on Shelitha. Within the first month of her application, Shelitha received millions of dollars. She kicked back hundreds of thousands of dollars to her friend Chandra. Then when the feds picked her up, Shelitha tried to blame everything on Chandra. But no, the lies didn't save her. Prosecutors convinced the jury that they worked together, ultimately taking Shelitha down. While she tried to dig a bigger ditch for her friend, she ended up falling into it herself. Shelitha not only gave some of the money to Chandra, but she also gave money to her daughter, who's a popular radio personality in Atlanta.
Welcome back. Happy Monday. I am Bree Renee, straight from the A.
And I am the original Miss Renee from the A.
What you're not going to do is look at yourself the whole time. You're going to look and talk normal, okay?
Oh yeah, she was out here co-hosting a podcast with her radio personality daughter like nothing was going on. 2020 money was flowing for Shelitha Robertson as she linked up with her best friend and fellow attorney to get in on what they saw as a gold mine.
For no reason. It's that season.
Yeah, it was that season, and the city girl attorneys of Atlanta were ready to get their sticky fingers on new riches. Shelitha and her bestie submitted PPP loan applications for 4 businesses owned and controlled by Shelitha. The loan applications falsely inflated the number of employees and average monthly payroll for each of the 4 businesses, resulting in larger PPP loans than what Shelitha would have legitimately been able to obtain. Check out this list of her 4 businesses and that key information on those applications. She applied for 4 loans through 3 different banks, all within 5 weeks. For the first company here, she wrote that her monthly payroll was $790,000 and she had 118 employees, when in reality she had 0. For the Renee Group, she lied and said her monthly payroll was $685,000 and that she had 93 employees, when in reality she had about 8 to 13 of them. Her company she used to apply for the third loan, she wrote that the average payroll was $649,000 per month and that she had 133 employees, when in reality she had 0. Once again, in her company she used to file for that 4th loan, it was listed on the application that her monthly payroll was $682,000 for 83 employees, when in reality this company also had 0 employees. So for anybody wondering how did all the scammers get this PPP money, they lied on their applications, basically. The women also submitted false tax documents to support the inflated statements in each loan application, and when millions hit her bank account, Shelitha went on a luxury shopping spree, buying whatever she wanted, including a 10-carat diamond ring that she spent $128,000 on. But yeah, she ran around Peachtree, Buckhead, and all around 285, spending up that money while driving this bright pink Panther Rolls Royce. Very flashy and outrageous, so it shouldn't have been much of a surprise when she was indicted. And then look at this color, totally destroyed this car, out here looking for attention. Finally, she got some money and lost her mind, went crazy. So in no time, the feds got word of the Pink Panther Rolls Royce, the diamond jewelry, and lavish spending sprees, and they indicted her. Let me tell you just how greedy this woman is. So the first application for the first loan was submitted on April 9th. Then the following week, she submitted the second application. That was April 17th. And days later after the second, she submitted the third application through the third bank on April 21st. So by the first of the month, the money started rolling in. May 1st, she got a disbursement of $1.6 million. The following week on May 8th, a disbursement of $1.9 million. She received her third disbursement of $1.7 million on May 15th. So the money was dropping every Friday like clockwork. And this woman was floating so high, she couldn't spend it fast enough.
Channel 2 Investigates has learned a former Atlanta City attorney and Atlanta Police Department officer has been indicted on charges that she stole pandemic relief funds. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray with us now live in South Fulton County, where you've been looking through this new indictment.
Well, Justin, it was just in October that the Renee Group here was awarded a significant chunk of a $99 million DeKalb contract. But this week, the owner of the Renee Group, Shelitha Renee Robertson, was indicted on charges that she stole millions of tax dollars. Hello, it's Justin Gray with Channel 2. I'm trying to reach Shelitha Robertson. No answer at the call box to the front gates of Chateau Royal, the grand South Fulton estate, listed with the Secretary of State as the principal address of Shelitha Robertson's company, the Renee Group. Shelitha Renee Robertson is a former Atlanta police officer and Atlanta city attorney who currently has a lucrative contract with DeKalb County worth millions to repair sewage and water systems. She's also just been charged in this federal indictment, alleged to have stolen $7 million in COVID relief Paycheck Protection Program funds intended to help keep people employed during the pandemic. In a Channel 2 Action News investigation last month, we found more than 553,000 Georgia businesses received PPP loans, totaling more than $24 billion just in Georgia. But federal prosecutors told us that tens of millions of dollars of that money here in Georgia went to fake companies trying to steal your tax dollar. This new indictment alleges that Shelitha Robertson spent PPP money on personal expenses like a Rolls Royce, motorcycle, and jewelry, including $128,000 for a 10-carat diamond ring. Hello, Justin Gray with Channel 2. Nobody would answer the gate today at the Renee Group warehouse, but DeKalb County records show it's one of 4 companies just awarded in October a $99 million contract to repair DeKalb's sewer systems. DeKalb County tells us in a statement, quote, the county was unaware that Ms. Robertson was under investigation by federal authorities for any type of wrongdoing. In light of this indictment, DeKalb County will review all contracts and our relationship with Ms. Robertson and the Renee Group and take any appropriate action. And Robertson's former business partner, Chandra Norton, has already entered a guilty plea to similar charges. She's awaiting sentencing. U.S. Attorney for the Northern District, Ryan Buchanan, says in a statement tonight, quote, we will continue to vigorously prosecute anyone who fraudulently attains these critical funds. Reporting live in South Fulton, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
Look at that house in Southwest Atlanta. Funny how so many of these ghetto fabulous boss chicks, they've never been to France, but they all want to live in a chateau. It's also crazy that while she was defrauding the government on the federal level, she was getting money on the local level too. Her company won't afford to receive that large contract with DeKalb County. Collectively, the 4 companies would service that $99 million contract, but Shelitha was reportedly awarded the largest share. So, 2020, her best friend Chandra got caught up. She flipped and told on Shelitha to save herself, and it took 2 years for the feds to indict Shelitha. That came in December 22. She appeared in federal court where she entered a plea of not guilty and decided she was going to take it to trial.
If you want to know what happened, just pay attention and listen to what I'm saying.
Silly decision, by the way. Knowing her best friend knew everything and was cooperating? Yeah, they already had her before they even picked her up. The jury convicted Robertson of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of money laundering. After the verdict, Shelitha was quickly taken into custody. She's been locked up ever since, and now she just learned she'll be spending the next 7 years in the feds. Not sure the status of her wife and what's going on there. Word is she's married, and not to a man, it's a woman, but no one else will be charged, so her daughter and everyone else she gave money to, they're off the hook. Super greedy and super corrupt. You can definitely find these same characters all around the country, but they are running rampant in Atlanta. They're over large budgets and big money, millions and millions flowing through the hands of these scammers in DeKalb County, Fulton County, Clayton County, all over. If you want to hear more about this, drop part 2 below in the comments. So many moving parts. Shelitha also reportedly threatened to get rid of her friend, Chandra, the one who cooperated with the feds. Yeah, if you want to hear more about that, drop part 2 below in the comments. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Here's a woman who was an Atlanta police officer, a public defender, a City of Atlanta attorney, and she even wanted to be a Fulton County Superior Judge. 62 years old, an AARP scammer, and she's about to have to spend the next 7 years in the federal penitentiary. Tell me what you think about this below. Shout out to L. Smith. Thank you, L. Smith, for all of your support, as well as Harold. And I can't forget about Dark Power, always showing support for the channel. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.